Hello friends, it's Cindy Brumbaugh from CindyLeeBDesigns.com, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. A simple fun fold, you can write on the back there, showing off some gorgeous new products in our Stampin' Up! Annual 2022-23 catalog. It's definitely beautiful blooms here, but this paper is so pretty. On page 66, you can see this suite here, Awash in Beauty, and just look at all these gorgeous cards. And one that really jumps out here is this die here, this lattice die. We're not using it on this card, but we're gonna be using this beautiful paper, Awash in Beauty. You've got gorgeous big blooms with the bright colors, balmy blue, and your granny apple green, and so saffron. You've got Mary Merlot and the richness of the mossy meadow too. So you've got gorgeous big blooms using these ones and also this DSP pattern. And then on the back you have, of course, beautiful smaller prints that coordinate with those big blooms. So we're going to be using that Awash in Beauty Designer Series paper with the True Beauty stamp set. These really are truly beautiful. The blooms stamp so nicely with the red rubber. I just literally put it in my ink and boom, a gorgeous dimensional flower there with the shading and the distinctiveness of that. And so we're going to be using these True Beauty or these organic beauties. They're called Organic Beauty. And of course, it's awesome. It cuts out all the blooms and the leaves and some other open dies, but this is an awesome addition to this set. I haven't used it yet. We will use it, but on this card, I used another set of dies that we have in the annual catalog, and those are our fabulous frames. I used this die right here for our fabulous frames on this card. So we're going to be using this pretty flower here and this also like a flowery thing here too. So what I did here is I'm going to show you how to make this simple fun fold. What we're going to do is take a piece of our cardstock. It's going to be 8 1/4 by 5 1/2. So this time it's 8 1/4. So just trim off 1/4 inch off of your 8 1/2. You'll get 2 cards out of a piece of cardstock. And then I'm going to score it. And my scoring will be done at, let's make sure everybody can see here. We're going to score it at 2. We're going to use this lighter scoring blade here. This is a piece of tape called Win tape that I got on Amazon, and it reads from right to left, and it just gives me an idea of the measurement at the top. I still use the lines on my trimmer, but it helps me just to line things up there. Okay, so we're going to score at 2. We're going to score at 3. We're going to score at 5 1/4. And then we are going to score at 6 1/4. And remember, the trimmer has an arm that comes out, and right on that arm is the 6 1/4. It's right, I like that they actually imprinted it right onto that part of the trimmer there. And then that is 6 1/4. So we went 2, 3, 5 1/4, 6 1/4. And then we end up with these little score lines here. And then we are going to put our Designer Series paper. Since these are 2 inches, we're going to be putting on our 1 3/4 by 5 1/4, 1 3/4, oh, I'm sorry, 2, and a 1 3/4. So we have the 1 3/4 width on the outside and a 2 inch on the inside here. So let's just get this adhered. I think I'm going to just use a little bit of my snail here, or actually, I don't know if I have. I think I used up my seal. Isn't that crazy? I'm always practicing with that. So I'm just going to put some of this. I'm going to just put this onto this section here, getting a nice 1/8 of an inch around all 4 sides. Fits right into that 2 inch scored section. And then we're going to put it on the middle section. And like I said, that fits in 2¼ inch section that we scored. So that would be 2 inches. And I'm just putting it right so I can see right, getting a nice equal border the whole way around. And then we're gonna pop this one on. And here we go. Another nice equal border the whole way around. It's nice when you're using a dark color like Mary Merlot that you can see it nice and easily. Now you have these 2 1-inch sections, so what do you think it's going to be measured at? You're right, 3/4. So I just used the back of this print here. I just wanted something that I could put on the, like a contrast, but also had the colors. And so the, oh, one thing you want to make sure is your flowers are going the right direction. I've done that more times than I'd like to admit to. So there we go, and one more. And this balmy blue really is one of the subtle colors I feel in this paper, but it really looks so beautiful with the richness of the Mary Merlot and the mossy meadow. But I'm going to show you a little trick on the leaf. So there is our card, and then it's going to fold like this so that our middle part stands out, and we can just do a little bone folder against that. I didn't do my bone folder at the beginning because it was easier to see putting my designer paper on when it was totally flat, but that's how simple that fun fold is. And when it opens up, you can see that pretty blue peeking out. So then I just die cut using this die here. But when you die cut this, it actually comes out in 2 different pieces. So here, for example, I wanted a white inside. So this is the leftovers here. So it die cuts the frame, and then the inside pops out. But of course, what I wanted to do on this card is do it the opposite way. So to have a dark frame with a white inside. So simply just pop that, turn it over, pop it in, and get your trusty Scotch tape. Just tape it nice and even right along those edges there. And just put some Scotch tape to secure that white on the inside. The nice thing about this is you could actually stamp on your card and put this frame directly onto what you stamped on your actual card base. So I like that. But in this case, because it was a frame that was going to pop off, I had to secure a white piece inside. And so I'm just putting some Scotch tape there so that my white has, there we go. And on this card, I just stamped the Just Because. This has some pretty sentiments in here. The beautiful font, Just Because, here for you always with love, you are a true friend. I use Just Because, you are a true friend. Just a, Just Because card. So I stamped it directly on here. I think I might have, if I had it to do over again, I would have maybe brought it up here a little bit. But I was playing around with my blooms there. So this is going to end up going onto our card like this. Or I thought maybe we should try this. Should we try this? I'm not sure. So if we put it this way, you have some dimension coming off the middle focal point of the card. So what we're going to do is go ahead and let's put it actually on the card so that we can, and I'm going to put it right in the middle here. So what I'm going to do is put it right directly into the middle. So I'm going to put the adhesive on the middle of the card because then I'm not going to have it on the edge of the card that it would stick here. And I do press it down. You can use any shape to do this, but I do press it down so I can see the 2 sides so that I can center it. So now I have that part that's going to pop off from the middle of your card. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to build up my focal point, and then I'm going to use a die to put on my sentiment. So let's just put some adhesive on the back of this beautiful balmy blue. So gorgeous. And then we're going to put some dimensionals behind our flower to pop that up. So I'm just going to put some dimensionals on there, and then that's going to have a nice design on the front of that. And I'll put that beautiful bloom on there. There we go. And then some beautiful leaves. Now, when I looked at this paper, I saw the Granny Apple Green brightness. I saw the Mossy Meadow, and I stamped them each, and it was a little bit light and a little bit dark. So what I did is I just inked this up in Granny Apple Green, and then I took a sponge with some of the Mossy Meadow, and I just sponged a little bit of Mossy Meadow over the top of my Granny Apple Green, and it gave me a little bit of a mix in between. Like it has the difference of a little bit of this, a little bit of that. So that was an easy way to do that. So we're going to put those leaves behind the flower, right here, down here in the corner. And then we're going to put our sentiment up here, and it can pop off. I think I'm going to have it so that it's still on there, but you can see it popping a little bit off into the Mary Merlot Fabulous Frames layer. So I'm just going to have it pop off a little bit there. So that's a cute little die that's now in the Stylish Shapes dies. So we've got the squares and the circles and these nice banners. I love that. And that is the Stylish Shapes. So since we didn't have our stitch shapes anymore, which I know everybody has, but so we just put that on there. And then I was looking for something to jazz it up. And actually in this suite, if I would have thought about it, this suite has these iridescent pearls. Those were, why didn't I think of that? But I actually happened to think of these new glossy dots we have. And I knew that we had the balmy blue in there, and actually I wanted to pull some yellow, and I think that I can get away with using this brighter color. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a couple of, I might stick, oh, I need another smaller one. I have a couple little pieces here, so I need a, let me get this out of here. I want to use some of the smaller ones. I want to use a smaller one of these yellow, and that yellow just pulls out the yellow that's in the Designer Series paper, and I might just put it like right, I don't know, should I put it on here? Put it down here. There, and then I'll put some balmy blue opposite the blue sprig there. And I think I want to use a medium-sized one. I think the big one is a little too big. So there. And one more small. Oh, here's the small. No, that's a medium-sized one. Let me do, I think I'm going to take this little small one off here. Okay. There we go, little guy. Let's put that little yellow one there. And then I'll put a medium-sized one up here. Maybe we just leave the sentiment there. There we go. I think we'll do it just like we did on the other card. So these are really pretty. They have the balmy blue, and I'm thinking this is daffodil, and then this could be our melon mambo and gorgeous grape. I love the color that they picked in those ones. So I just added a little bit of that yellow that I pulled out of the paper too with those glossy dots. So was that simple or what? Just a simple card. It was 8 and a quarter by 5 and a half, and we just scored it at 2, 3, 5 and a quarter, 6 and a quarter. Got this cute little fold, and then I just put this as a focal point, and I used the Fabulous Frames. Then I just stamped my beautiful blooms, add a little Mossy Meadow to my Granny Apple Green on this flower, and then just placed them on that focal point there, and then had these pretty little glossy dots. And then where is that? Right here. Our last part is the place to write your message. And I just stamped "You're a True Friend" in Mary Merlot. I haven't used Mary Merlot for a while, so I was kind of excited to get that color out. So making sure I'm putting it the right way. And then you just put that down in the middle. There we go. And you can write your little message in there, and you have a pretty look. And this one actually, because it shows off the designer series paper, is one that, well, the Fun Fold itself shows off that gorgeous paper. So thanks for buzzing by, friends. I hope you have fun with that new catalog. Make sure you check out the Awash in Beauty on page 66, though I'm sure all my floral friends are actually loving this set. And oh, I can't wait to play with this big lattice die, maybe in the next couple weeks. And if you need anything, please don't hesitate to text me or call me at 724-323-2296. You can also email me at cindyleeb@gmail.com. And also you can comment on the YouTube post or my blog post. Make sure you jump over to cindyleebdesigns.com. You'll see all of the measurements, the colors, the products, links over there, any additional photos of the card. Subscribe to my blog, cindyleebdesigns.com, and you'll be notified. Usually Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I like to post, or any day in between if there's some Stampin' Up! News. I like to post a video on Wednesdays, usually when you first wake up, sometimes a little later in the day, depending on what my days have been like. So I really appreciate you spending some time here with me. Also, underneath the YouTube description, you'll find the measurements and the products and everything, and that link to my blog. Just visit my blog here, press it, and you're over at cindyleebdesigns.com. And again, thanks for buzzing by, friends.